So today, President Trump says that he is standing behind his Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, following reports that Hegseth shared strike plans against Houthi targets in Yemen in a second Signal group chat. Sources tell CNN the Signal group chat included Hegseth's wife, his lawyer, and his brother. And the details revealed are similar to what the Defense Secretary shared in that other group chat, which came to light after the editor of The Atlantic was mistakenly added to it. Hegseth is also dealing with fallout from some of his closest advisors, several of whom were fired last week, sounding the alarm about his leadership. Hegseth defended himself earlier today, but notably did not deny sharing the strike plans in that second group chat. Listen to this.
This is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputations.
With us now to discuss is retired U.S. Navy Admiral James Stavridis. He served as NATO Supreme Allied Commander and is currently a partner at the Carlyle Group, a global investment firm. Admiral, always great to see you. Is there a legitimate reason that you could see why Secretary Hegseth would not only use his personal device for these communications, but also share these details with his loved ones and his attorney?
There is absolutely no reason on the planet Earth he should be doing that. And he knows it. He's a former major in the U.S. Army. He was trained throughout his time as a junior officer to protect and guard the nation's secrets. He's got to know that he has failed to do that. And let's face it, Boris, if Signalgate 1.0 was a release to a group of high-ranking officials, which it was, and got leaked inadvertently to a member of the media, so we saw exactly what was on it. Here we are, Signalgate 2.0, where evidently, if the reporting is correct, very similar level, but now it's going to unclassified individuals who lack the need to know any of this. So it's gone from outrageous to truly egregious. And it's conduct that, frankly, is indefensible.
The Pentagon has responded to these reports through a spokesperson, Sean Parnell. He said in a tweet Sunday night that there was no classified information in any Signal chat. Do you think that's the case? Does that make a difference in this story?
It's hard for me as someone who spent almost 40 years in uniform and has seen how we handle, service, protect, attack plans like that. When you include times, ordnance, locations, you are setting up our aviators for possible intercept. It's as though a bank robber has provided the date, the time, and the type of weapon he was going to use to rob a bank. We don't want that made public. Neither does the bank robber, frankly. But in this case, again, as I look at that and put my years of experience on, it appears to me to be highly classified information, and I think that is an opinion shared pretty much across the national security sector.
I'm curious, Admiral, what you make of the Secretary alluding to disgruntled employees being the source of these reports. He's had a series of resignations at the Pentagon in recent weeks, and some of the reported discord between the Secretary and top aides has found its way into the headlines. Is that normal?
No, it's not normal at all. And I know these jobs well because I had one of them. I was the senior military assistant as a 3-star to Secretary of Defense Don Rumsfeld. So if you had told me during that period that the civilian deputy chief of staff, a high-ranked special assistant, the spokesman, and the chief of staff to the deputy secretary of defense were all going to quit, all of whom, through a lot of pretty well-sourced reporting, are indicating they're disgruntled about it. I think the secretary's correct that they are disgruntled, but they're disgruntled because they can't figure out why they got fired. Just like the chairman of the Joint Chiefs and the chief of naval operations were never really told why they were fired. You can't just fire people and expect loyalty from them on the far side of the bridge. So no, I'm not surprised about the blowback from firing people that you have hired. We ought to remember these are folks that Secretary Hegseth hired, put on his team. He chose them. He's worked with them in the past. I think it's quite damning. And I'll close with this. If folks haven't seen the op-ed written by his former spokesman, John Elliott, which lays out all of this quite clearly. Again, someone hired and brought into the Pentagon by Secretary Hegseth. That's pretty damning in my view.
Admiral James Stavridis, very much appreciate you sharing